You've been running so fast, now I finally stopped you. For a moment I forgot, I thought I lost you. You can roll with me, cause you know I got you. I got you. It's like something missing and you can't quite get it. Forgot who you was, yeah, I know it's been a minute. Mine keeps slipping. Thought you was living, shit hit the fan, now you can't stop spinning. Yeah, you know you ain't gotta be perfect and make people happy, they never deserve it. And you deserve better, cause you're just a person was constantly yearning to feel some important. Come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? Under the surface, come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? You know you're the dopest. Finally stopped you. For a moment I forgot, I thought I lost you. You can roll with me, cause you know I got you. I got you.
Yeah, you been let down, ready to shut down. Close to the winter, no one can enter. Heart is frozen like a lake in late December. You got an icebox where your heart used to be, but life starts when your heart chooses to beat. Usually, it's never just you and me. Slow down, you can choose a new you to be. Come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? Under the surface, come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? You know you're the dopest.
For a moment I forgot, I thought I lost you. You can roll with me, cause you know I got you. I got you. You've been running so fast, now I finally stopped you. For a moment I forgot, I thought I lost you. You can roll with me, cause you know I got you. I got you.
All right, all right. Guys, welcome back to Real Talk with Cynthia. This is episode 13. I am your host, Cynthia Tamayo, and I'm so excited for today's guest. First, we're going to check audio. Are we okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes, good. Hey, that's 2 in a row. I'm excited. Every time we do this, I'm like, can you hear me? And I'm always scared, but we're good. We're good to go. So you guys, welcome again. Ashia, thank you so much for being here. Oh my God, that song, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I love it so, so much. I mean, the words, the lyrics, everything. But how are you? Thank you so much for accepting the invite. How are you doing, love?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to be chatting with you. I'm just really excited to be doing interviews again. It's really exciting when you get to come and like explain your art to people.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
I love that. Yes. Well, thank you so much. And honestly, I told you when I messaged you, like, man, I've been wanting to have you on for the longest time. You know, life happens, you organize things, and I'm like, I need to have her on here. Yeah. When I interviewed Lourdes, and she immediately told me, I'm like, I have her on my list already, so I'm super, super excited to have you. Ink, what's up, Ink? If you guys are just tuning in, if you guys can do us a favor and share, comment, like all that good stuff, and engage in the comments, you guys, so YouTube can start pushing this podcast out a little more. But Ink, hola, my friend, thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have you here because obviously before I interview my guests, like I do my research, I check everything out, well, the as best as I can, right? But first of all, I love your energy. I love like the way you do music. Like to me, I love music, but I love to see artists who are like just so unique. Like you are reflecting who you are, and I see that like in your music and in your intention behind everything. Obviously, I'm going to let you speak, but for people who are watching, if you want to just give like a quick little intro of who you are, and then we'll kind of get more in depth, like with more questions. And if you guys are watching, if you guys have any questions for her, make sure you guys put them in the comments. Okay, so I'll give you the mic, just kind of do a quick little intro, if you don't mind.
Of course. So my name is Ashia Vu, like deja vu. I'm a singer, songwriter. My music is mostly R&B, but I'm very in tune with my self journey and finding my purpose, and that's mostly what I make my music about. And yeah, I'm on this musical journey trying to become a more well-known artist, and I'm excited to be here and share my art with the world.
I love that. And honestly, if people know me, I love R&B, and I love just the vibes of your music, So before we go into anything else, I have to ask you, like, how did you get your name? Is that, I mean, because it's deja vu, which is, I think it's brilliant, but how did you come up with that?
Yeah, so my name is Ashia, and when I was thinking of, was it Instagram? I was thinking of a username for a social media app, and
for a handle.
Yeah, the handle, and I was like, you know what, Ashia, deja vu, so it just made sense.
And it does. I think it's so cute. I love how you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My name is spelled weird, so I feel like not a lot of people understand it, which is okay because the H throws people off. So they're like, Ashia, like, what is that?
Like,
and so, yeah, exactly. The GPS gets my name wrong all the time. So yeah, it's Ashia.
I love it.
Like this.
I love it. I think it's unique. Again, as an artist, I feel like you have something that's very, very unique, and it just makes sense. And the sound of it, it's so cool. So, so I love that. So now tell me how. I always ask all my guests that aren't artists and stuff like that, like when you started in the music, like when you're like, okay, wow, I have a voice, I can use my voice, and like how young were you when this whole journey started, if you will?
Yeah, I've had an interesting journey to this point. I remember the earliest memory I have of me singing is when I was like 5 years old, and I was in the backyard at my great grandma's house in Georgia, very southern Georgia, country.
Okay, I love it.
And I remember just singing at the trees and singing around in the yard by myself, just singing. And then fast forward, I was singing in the church. I was in the choir. It helped me break through the nerves when it comes to singing in front of people. And so I did that. And then in college, I sung a little bit more, but still through all of this, I knew that I could sing, but I didn't think about being an artist. So
you just liked it, huh?
Yeah, I just liked it. I liked to sing. And then in college, I would sing like whenever I would meet people who did music in college, I would, sing like background vocals or sing like a little
Okay.
chorus hook for people.
Mhm.
And then I moved to NYC because I went to school in Florida. I'm from Florida, went to school in
Okay.
Florida, moved to
And then
NYC. And then I was going to open mics here, and I was just like very inspired. So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I could do this, because I also write poems. I've always
I
written
love it.
poetry. And so I was like,
Mm.
maybe I could do this. Maybe I could, be like these artists on these open mic stages and sing.
Yeah.
And so then I started to make music. I met a producer and I just started
how
to
cool.
make music. And this was in 2015. And so, yeah, I've been doing it ever since.
I
It's been
love
about
that.
6 years, actually.
What did you say? Sorry, what was the last one?
10 years, actually. Since
Oh my
2015. Over 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So what would you say? I mean, I don't know if it's changed throughout the years, but who was maybe like your inspiration? Because I love that you said real quick that you would sing to the trees. And the reason I love that was because I just see your energy, like the way you make your music. It kind of like makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a peace energy type of vibe. But what would you say? I don't know if it has changed since back then, but like what artists I could say you would look up to? Like you're like, I like that type of music or that vibe of music, or do you have any inspirational artists that you look up to?
Yes, in different categories.
Okay, that makes sense.
So like when it comes to what inspired me, so when I was young, Aaliyah I used to just gravitate to her music and her voice. And then when I got in college, I was on Tumblr a lot. Shout out to all the Tumblr people.
Right.
And Janae Aiko, she was coming up around that time, and I really resonated with her way of music, and I think that kind of like shaped the way that I approach music.
I can see that.
And then as I've gotten older and more into music, I've really looked up to Beyonce, just because of the way that she, works so hard on her craft. So
yeah, that's amazing, and I can definitely see that. Janae Aiko, I love her. Me and my daughters went to go see her. Was it last year? It was last year. She came. Yeah, she came here to Salt Lake City, and oh my God, we literally. I mean, we had fun. You do all these different songs she has, but we like cry, she's unique. And honestly, I'm not just saying this because I'm interviewing you, but like I can definitely see that in you. Like that, just like even saying it, like I get the chills. Like you just have this beautiful energy, like honestly, and I could definitely see how that goes. You know what I mean? So I think that's really cool. Yeah, and then Beyonce, of course. I mean, the work ethic of that woman is crazy. I mean, and talent, of course.
Yes, brilliant. Yeah. I'm so jealous you got to see Janae live. I haven't seen her live before.
I recommend you. Oh my God, it's an experience for sure. Like, I just love how she gets down with her music. She has popular songs, but then like she's really into, the spirituality, into like the energy and stuff like that. And she does, like, she brought out like the sound bowls, everything. It was really cool. It was really, really cool. So if you ever get a chance or she's in town, like definitely should go check her out. But like I said, I could definitely see your like resemblance in the energy. Like I said, even like going through your music, I'm just like, even right now, as we were waiting that video put, I'm just like, it just gives you that like feel good energy.
Right? I love that.
Yeah. And I love that because I think especially nowadays, again, there's so much talent out there, right? But I feel like when artists come with that good intention and bringing that uniqueness of you, because let's be honest, and I don't know what your opinion is on this, but I see it like interviewing different artists. It gets hard out there in the music world, right? I mean, there's so much talent, right? I know, exactly. I mean, I'm not an artist, but I see it obviously. But I feel like it's really cool when artists like yourself and Lourdes and all them, like you guys stick to who you are, and you're like, this is what I want to do. This is my goal in the music industry, and I feel like slowly the people who are going to gravitate to you. And I mean, I don't know what your goals are, like for your career, your music career. I guess I could ask you that before I go into other questions. Like what, like when you think of Ashia Vu, sorry, what do you see? Like, for example, this is where I would like to be, even though I tell people to embrace the journey, but if you can say, this is what I would love to see, or how I want my career to be in the music world. I guess you could say.
I honestly, I know most people will probably say they want to be like the next Beyonce, they want to be,
Right.
doing all of that. But for
Yeah, yeah.
me, because I love the art of it all. I love to
See?
create. I love to
Mm,
write music. Um, so I just want to be surrounded by music in some way. I don't necessarily have to be the artist. It would be nice
mm,
because I appreciate small, intimate gatherings where you can share your music with people and
yeah.
share the story behind the music.
Mm,
So I see myself doing that, but also I see myself working with other artists and
I love that.
songwriting and just being surrounded by music in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. I love that. And honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed that lately in this time and era, like the artists, they do a lot of collabs with different artists. I don't know exactly if that's how that started or if it's a thing or whatever, but I've noticed there, or maybe it's just the artists that I follow. I'm just like, oh my God, which I think is really cool because a lot of times those collabs are really, really cool. So I think that's beautiful because I feel like again, obviously there's it's such a big space in the music industry, right? For artists and upcoming rising artists. That's why I love to interview them because I'm like, my gosh, like there's so much talent out there that needs more and more exposure, and I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, and I think that's really cool. So I want to ask you, as far as the creative process, like what is your, because of the type of music like that you share, which again I love, like what is your creative process? Like where do you find inspiration, or like where you're like, this is when I sit down and either, I know you write music too, so like what brings you to that? And you said you write poems, and when you said that, I'm like, oh, I can see that, like even in your music. But what is like, how could you explain your creative process?
Yeah, for me, my creativity comes when I have free time, when I have
Okay.
time where I'm not doing anything. That's when things are quiet. That's when I can
Mm,
create most of the time.
mhm.
I have an album coming out later this year, and
Ooh.
I was able to create most of it. So I got laid off from my job in
Ah,
2024. And
oh
so
man,
I was laid off and I didn't have anything to do,
like a
anything,
backup. Mhm.
responsibilities. And so I actually took a trip to Antigua for a month. And I
Oh my
was
gosh.
disconnected from the world
Oh,
essentially. And I was able to, just reconnect with myself,
that sounds
um,
amazing.
and just create and
Mhm.
let it come to me. I don't force things to happen. I just let it come to me. So
Yeah, I love that.
whenever I'm feeling something in my spirit, that's usually when I'm able to like listen and
Ch-
just let it come to me like that.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that you did that because I think that's so important. Not even just for the people in the music, but like anybody. Like even hearing you, I'm just like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Especially like in this world that we live in right now, to be able to like disconnect and just be like, listen, I need to get in touch or grounded with myself again and nature, because it's, I don't know what your experience is in that, but like, I mean, I think of that, like I said, literally just hearing you, I'm just like it literally made me feel like, oh my God, I need that, you know, because we do get caught up in our like day-to-day lives. We do get caught up in routines and whatnot,
Yes.
and it's so important. So I think that's really, really neat because I don't know. I feel like when you do that, you doing that also, I feel like it brings you more in touch like with music, and
Yeah.
people can feel it because like I said, I was been obviously been listening to your music, especially this whole week, and I'm just like, wow, like her energy is so cool. It's such a dope vibe, and good energy. So I salute you for that. That's beautiful. And-
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, and I think, and I always ask that because some artists are like, oh well, usually, well not usually, but a big part is like, oh, when you go through breakups or sad moments or whatever. And I love to ask this question because you hear different things like, well, I'm trying to change it up. I want to bring more positivity, which several of your songs that I was watching, the ones you have on even on Instagram, have a lot of good messages on them too. Like for example, like, hey, when you're a people pleaser, I'm working on that. And I think what you're doing is really cool. Would you say that's a goal that you have, or an intention, if you will, behind your music? We're like, I want to give a message that could speak to people. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said that. And I'm
Yes.
happy that you noticed because that's
Yes.
exactly what my intention is. Um, and my past my past songs have been about love and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that is great. But sometimes I want to try to not write about love and write about
Mm,
something else, because love is a very popular subject. And sometimes I
true.
just want to take a different approach
Yes.
with my songwriting. And people pleasing is
Mm,
it's such a deep it's a deep thing that I've had to deal with throughout my
mhm.
life. So a lot of my songs, as I've gotten older and more in tune with myself, a lot of my songs have more of that type of messaging
I
compared to
love
when
that.
I was, younger. It was more about love. And I don't know,
Yeah.
it's not that I necessarily planned it, but as I've gotten more in tune with myself, as I've
With
gotten
fun.
older,
Mhm.
especially in my 30s, I'm like more in tune
Are
with
you in your 30s? There's no
yeah,
way. Oh my
yeah.
girl, you look so good. Look at
Thank
you.
you.
I would have
But
thought you were still in your early 20s or mid 20s. Well, early 20s, I don't know.
yeah, you know what? I'll go along with
She's like,
that.
I'll take it. I will accept it. No, seriously, you look amazing, honestly. No, yeah.
Thank
But
you.
I was gonna say I love that because it's so true. Like it's and I talk about this a lot on my podcast, right? About the stigmas and stuff like that. And even in music, you're right. The majority of songs is this love songs, the breakups, the I'm in
Yeah,
love, I'm not in love anymore, like the crazy
yeah,
all
or
that stuff.
situationships and all of those things. And
Yeah,
so
especially nowadays, right? So
yeah,
excuse me, I have noticed that there is more artists coming up like with more like, or trying to unless they're AI, but more like inspirational stuff, more messages. I know. Don't even get me started with that, right? But I love that you're doing that because it's true. It not just only you're bringing something, well, I could say kind of new, but it also can shift people's mind from like, hey, it's not just like this. Like, what about you? Like, what about working on you? What about the love for
exactly.
you? Right? And the people pleasing that, like I said, that hits home for me. I'm still working on it, but like that's a thing. Like, and not just a people pleasing, but sometimes you're so, excuse me, focused on making sure people accept you, making sure people like you, or just trying to. And it's like, what about us? What about self? What is your take on that? Because I know you've been following me, so I'm really into like mental health and personal development. And I think all of that ties in because if you can play music, like even Janae Aiko, when sometimes I'll put her stuff and I just meditate because like to be able to have artists that are diverse in that sense, I think is so important. What do you think about that when it comes to like messages and mental health through
Yeah,
music?
it's very, very important for me. My upcoming album that I'm releasing like later this year
Ooh,
is
I'm excited.
all about that. It's all the main concept of the album is about returning to yourself.
Oh,
And
I'm
it
excited.
means so much to me, and I'm so excited about it because I've had to struggle with people pleasing.
Mm,
Growing up in a household where I'm the oldest, so I'm an oldest daughter, and I have five siblings, and I grew up in a religious household, and
mm,
you realize that you are trying to make everybody else happy. You're trying to live up to other
mm,
people's expectations, so much so to the point where you don't even know who you
oof,
are anymore. And I've been asking myself this question since
mm,
I've gotten older, like, who am I? Like, not a title, not I'm not
right,
like I'm not a girlfriend, I'm not a wife, I'm not this. Who
that
are
part.
you? What are your qualities as a
Ooh,
human? And so that's what I like to questions that I ask myself, and my upcoming album is
mm.
really all about that. So
I
yeah,
am so
well,
excited.
really
And if
important.
you want to come back whenever that is, you are always welcome because I'd love to
I
like
would love to. I would love
yes,
to.
yes, yes.
It's
Oh
like
my
a whole concept, and I would love to interview
yes,
and just break it down,
yes.
all of the
Let's do
songs.
it.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, do you have already a date or you're still kind of working on when it's going to be released or
I don't have a date yet, just because I need to film all the content.
okay,
When it comes to releasing music, you can't just release the music. You have
true.
to release the content, and until
That's
that
true.
is done, then I can come with a
Okay.
date. But I'm shooting for September, late September.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we got some
Well,
time. We got some time.
yeah, we got some time. We'll definitely we'll keep in touch because definitely that would be so cool. And that's so exciting that you said that. I'm super excited to hear it because I think again, artists that are so talented like yourself, I think it is important to start. And I've had a couple of when I interviewed one of my first guests on here. what is this? Which she said the same thing. She's like, I always write when I'm sad. She's like, I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to bring like more like joy, like more happy songs. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's good. Which I mean, again, all music is great. You know, you go back to R&B, which I'm a huge R&B head. You know, but and it's like the music hits. But nowadays, I feel like it's just like it hits different. Like you doing something where like, hey, get back to yourself. And I think it's so important to talk about this because you're so right. And so many times, I used to say, you know how there's a saying, you need to, what is it, the saying? Find yourself or something like that, right? Like you sometimes you lose yourself in life or if you're in a relationship, whatever the case may be. But then somebody else said, it's not that you're finding yourself. It's more that you're remembering who you are and right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what exactly about that. Remembering who you are.
Oh, I love that. See how we're in sync? No, but and I think that is so important because it's so true. We live a life sadly based or focused on stigmas, on expectations of people or life, right? Hey, you're this age, you should be right here. Like
Exactly.
we're so, yeah. And we give so much power to what people expect from you or what life says your life should look at. And it's crazy, Asia, because it's like when we do that, and I said I'm guilty of it, like you completely lose track of your purpose in life, right? And then you're kind of, and this is why there's so many people that fall into depression too, like, you know, anxiety, or they're just like, what's my purpose in life? And it's because I feel like we put ourselves, I always say this, but at the end of that list, and we're so focused on people pleasing other people when it's like everybody's in their own head, you know? So I'm excited for that album. Definitely let's keep in touch because I think more artists need to bring more stuff like this because it's more on a personal level. Yes, the whole breakups, we know how all that goes, but how about we start bringing more like, listen, love you. All these breakup songs is because we're not, you know, remembering who we are. We're not focusing on us. Would you agree?
Exactly. No, that is exactly that. After, so my last project, my last EP was about after you go through a breakup, and after I went through that breakup, I was left asking myself like, wait, who am I? I asked myself that through different phases of my life, but after that breakup, I was like, wait. Sometimes you get so lost in relationships and loving people, and especially when you're the type of person that loves really hard, you kind of lose yourself in that person. So then when that person is removed, you are left with questions of like, wait, what do I do now? Like, what is my life like without this person? Wow. And so I often ask myself that. And even after I got laid off in 2024, I asked myself that question again. I'm like, wait, because a lot of people also attach themselves to jobs, to titles. And when I lost my job, I was just like, wait, who am I without this job, without this career? Like, who am I? What is my purpose outside of working this job?
Yeah. You know what? I love the conversation, Asia, because I think this is real stuff, obviously real talk, right? And I think it's important because even with when it has to do with your music, because when you tap into real stuff, like I feel like it hits different. The message hits different. And you said so many on point things, you know, in relationships, you lose yourself. I've been there at my age. You know, my recent I was like, oh my God, like I forgot who I was when your kids tell you. Yeah, like when your kids tell you, Mom, this is not who, like what's happening, like, and sometimes you don't realize it. Like you say, you're so into like this relationship, or like you said, or even some people in jobs, some people in, I don't know, hobbies, or I don't know, so many things it could be, right?
So many things.
Yeah, but it's so true, and the reality is that I feel like that does hinder who you're supposed to be, the purpose on earth. And like, again, going back to you taking that trip, like that's amazing, because a lot of times we live a life like this, like just either relationships or jobs, and then life passes by, and then what was your purpose? Why are so many people just not happy? It's because we're not tapping into like, hold on a second, like who am I? Like, what makes me happy?
Yes. What right? Makes me happy? Some people can't answer that question. And I've had a phase in my life where I genuinely couldn't answer that question. I was so busy trying to make everybody else happy. I had no idea what made me happy at all. And it scared me, honestly. I was scared. I was like, I should know this.
Mm.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
should know what makes me happy. And the
Yeah.
fact that I didn't, I was just like, oh my God,
And
what?
yeah. And when you think about it, Aisha, that's like, even hearing you, like, that's kind of sad, because it's like, again, we don't, we put so much focus on everything and everyone else except for us. And you're right. Like, I think a lot of times people, or they do have dreams and goals, and then immediately, either because of your age or where you're at in your life, oh well, I can't do that. Life tells me I have to have a 9 to 5. I have to, which we have to be responsible, adults. But I'm saying, like, you have to stay there, or in relationships. Well, oh well, like, I'll just stick it out. Like, and we settle for things that really don't make us happy, or we put our dreams to the side because I'm too old now, or no
Yep.
one's gonna support me, or and it's crazy. And I repeat this probably in every podcast, but it's just like, I feel like if we tap into, like, hold on a second, what makes me happy? What makes Aisha happy? What makes, like, things would change. And if you become your biggest cheerleader, if you say, as long as I believe in me, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's truly, that's really all that matters. And our lives on this planet, in the grand scheme of things, is really short.
Mm-hmm.
And we spend just so much time not catering to ourselves because
Mm,
society has taught us that. And I
exactly.
also think about our society has this formula that most
Mm-hmm.
people follow, and it's okay if that's genuinely what you want, but there are a lot of people who don't want to follow that formula, but because that is the safe thing to do,
Exactly.
then
Mm-hmm.
you do that, and you kind of lose yourself in doing that.
Mm,
And I had to ask myself these things as well, because it's like, you go to school, you get the job, you
mm-hmm.
get the marriage, then you get the house, and then you get the babies. It's happy story,
Well, that's
happily
how
ever
it's supposed to be.
yeah, but then sometimes a lot of people, that is just not the way life works. And
Yes.
it's scary because you're basically you're living out of the box, and that is scary. And
Mm,
a lot of people, it's hard to live out of the box, and
mm-hmm.
a lot of people just opt out of it because it's hard to
Yeah.
live outside the box, outside
Right.
of the equation, the formula that our
Exactly.
society has. And so I also want to just message that it's really okay to live outside the
Mm,
box. You know, we don't
yeah.
have to follow society's formula. We can live
Mm-hmm.
however we want, because just because society says that we have to follow this formula, think about what really does that make you happy? And if it does, that's totally fine. But if
Mm,
it doesn't, you know,
exactly. No, and I love that I love this conversation, because I feel like it is important, and it's a great message for people, because again, it's so easy. I always come back to this, but it's because it's a reality that we're living. Like, we're on social media, we're scrolling, we're consistently comparing our lives to others, whether people say it or not. It's a thing. You're looking at,
mhm.
oh, wow, look at, she's traveling, or oh my God, look at the life she's living. And it's crazy to think. And I said, I'm guilty. Like, I'm just learning, like, and it doesn't matter how old you are, you guys. I mean, when
Nope.
you realize that, right? Exactly. But I feel like it's like, again, we're so tied to, like, this is how it's supposed to go. And let's be honest, why are the statistics in marriages, like, or in divorces, you know what I'm saying? Is because we are following something that we have been told. And obviously, if you pay attention, that's not the way to go. It
Yeah.
goes, you know what I mean? And it's just really, like you said, stepping out of that box. In reality, that's what we should look at, because why be like
Yes.
everybody else, right?
Why?
Right?
Our time here is so short. If that's not really truly what you want to do,
Mm,
then don't do it. Do what makes you
exactly.
happy. Just
Exactly.
literally do it. Even if it's hard, it's a part of the
Mhm.
journey. And I feel like
That.
it's better to live the way you want
Mm,
than to get old and look back and be like, I wish I would have done it
that.
differently. You know, I think about
Yeah.
that all the time. Like,
Yes.
I look at older people's
Mhm.
stories, just for wisdom, and just to
Yeah.
see, especially women, to see them say, I wish I would have done things my
Mm-hmm.
way. Looking back, and I at my age, I'm like, you know what? That's a powerful thing to say to
Mm-hmm.
younger women, because you can
Yes.
do things your way. It may be
Mm,
hard, but it's much worth it, and you'll feel, more powerful when you do things your way compared to, the way
yeah.
they tell us to do it.
Yeah. No, it's because it's so true, and I'm glad you're mentioning that. It's so true. If I can even say, I'm at my age, I'm like, sometimes you do look back, I'm like, man, if I would have done this differently. But something I try to focus on, and I tell my kids and whoever I talk to, even though we're human, sometimes we have our days. You're like, but it's like, okay, like you said, if I could talk to someone younger, or even yourself, listen, go after your dreams. Like, who says you can't achieve it? And
Exactly.
even I think my guest last week, Mac, he said it. He's like, listen, if you're like miserable in your job and you have to like maybe take a little bit of a pay cut, but it's gonna make you happier or allow you to pursue your dreams, like do that, because at the end of the day, again, you said it, life is short, and you don't want to live in regrets. I mean, maybe in life, of course, we're all gonna make mistakes, right? We're all gonna make, you have to learn. But if you can be like, listen, this is my journey, my life, and I have to be able to live the best way that I can. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, you guys, but to be
Right.
able to step into, okay, what does make me happy? What do I do that actually like brings a smile to my face, or what have I procrastinated or put kind of in the back burner for so long because of the self-doubt, or the what if I don't get the support, or what if people don't believe, you know what I'm saying? And if we can change that around and be like, listen, I know I could do this because this is what I love to do. That's such a game changer in life. So I love that you're saying that, Asia, because it's just so important. You said it. Life is too short to just, as I talk about it more, it's like, you just live this life that's expected of you. And it's like, says who that you can't.
Says who exactly?
Right?
I always say
Oh,
I am the conductor, I am the driver,
the
I am the
author.
captain, the author of my
Mm-hmm.
life. And no one
Yes.
else is going to do that but
Mm,
me, because there's a
yes.
lot of people that they go through life like on autopilot, like just life is happening to
Mm-hmm.
them instead of you just taking control and
That
making life
part.
happen on your own terms.
Yes.
And one day, I just had this epiphany. One
Yeah.
day, it's really small and little and kind of silly, but it really like just shifted my perspective.
Yeah.
Um, I was sitting on my couch, and there was like a balled up piece of paper on the
Mm-hmm.
floor. And I got up and I was like walking past it, not really paying attention to it. And one day I was just staring and I was just like, that paper is not going to throw itself away. I have to
Mm,
get up and remove the paper myself. And that
mm.
it sounds really small, but it was just like
No.
an analogy to something bigger. Like,
Yes.
I have to be the person to control this
Mm.
outcome, this narrative. I have to be the one to do it,
Yes.
essentially.
Yep.
And that little small moment really shifted my perspective.
I
Um,
love that.
and that's how I'm able to like, share these thoughts with you, because
Yeah.
I literally thought
Mm.
of it myself and just questioned.
But no, but I love that. Honestly, seriously, I'm literally enjoying this conversation so much because that is such a great analogy. And it's really cool that you at that moment were like that, like you got that message. You're like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
feel like I'm kind of like that too. Even if I watch a movie or something, I'm like, oh, I'm like, what's the message behind this? And it's important because it's so true though. But it's a message that tells you, listen, until I do something about it,
Yep.
my life's gonna be
It's gonna stay there.
uh-huh. I'm gonna be
Yep.
stagnant, right?
Yep.
And I think guys, if you guys are watching, if you guys are watching the replay, like this is a message of encouragement, seriously, because I think we just need to step out of the norm, if you will. Now we're not telling you like, oh, just drop everything and just I mean, you can, but I'm saying,
Within reason.
yeah, exactly, within reason, but ultimately, in a place where listen, I want to live I know for me, I'm like, gosh, I want to live happy. Not that every day is perfect and life's not gonna throw the challenges at us, because that's just
Right.
life, right? But I feel like when you change your mindset, like even you giving that example of that paper crumbled, it's like, hold on a second, unless I get up and move it, throw it away,
Yes.
like, you know, and that is a great message in understanding that, hey, it is up to us, like you said, the author. Every chapter, if you need to restart, rip out things and restart. Listen, who says you can't? You know, like that quote that says,
Exactly.
reset, restart as many times as you need, you know? And a lot of
True.
times yeah, and I think a lot of times we don't accomplish our goals, or I didn't do this, oh, it's too late. And we just give up. And we just give up, right? And you want more, but at the same time, you're comfortable where you're at, but then you're like, I'm not happy. So it's like, then what do we do? Right.
Yeah.
So that's such a great message, because yeah, really, you guys, it's really up to us. And like you said, at the end of the day, the only person who we have for sure till the end of our life is us. So no matter what people tell you, it's like, okay, you can appreciate, not saying to disrespect people, but it's like at the end of the day, you have to make that choice. So I think that's such a beautiful message. I'm so excited to hear your new album, because like I said, I'm really into, like, you know, the self, just the love of loving ourselves more, you know? And
Yeah.
I think that's so important, you know, and I feel like you radiate that. So I applaud you, and I'm so excited to hear that what you have coming up. So I do want to ask you a question. I know, have you had collabs? And if you have, or do you have any that you would like to collab with in the future?
Yeah, I've my first EP, well, not my first one, my second one,
Uh-huh.
No Energy. I collabed with some of the people that I first met here in New York City,
Mhm.
some of the first artists that I've met
Yeah.
here. And I put the three of them on as a verse on a few of the
Okay.
songs in my project.
I love that.
So that was really cool. And then also, since you interviewed Lourdes,
Yeah.
love, love, love
I
Lourdes.
love her.
We are currently talking about a collab song
Ooh,
together. Yeah, and so it'll be so exciting to collab with
that's
Lourdes. That's
exciting.
like, we got the pure R&B vibes going.
Yes. Oh my God. I love you girls. I'm gonna have to have both of you guys on here.
Oh,
Listen.
that would be so fun. Yes,
How fun
yes.
would that be? Yes, that
Let's
would be so
do
cool.
that for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that for sure. How exciting. Well, I love it. Like I said, there's so many collabs, and I think it's really cool to see that, you know. And Lourdes, I love her energy as well. She's such a dope artist as well, and just a person as well. So that's really cool that you're doing that. It's exciting. Now, I know you have a couple of videos. You're New York City, right? Do you like
Mhm.
do gigs? Like, do you go out, or like, what do you do? Like, you know, where you live? 'Cause I think that's important, like for upcoming artists.
Yeah, so I don't do as many gigs as I should, but
Okay.
after this album that I drop, I plan to do much more gigs with this
Mm,
new music that I'm releasing because it speaks more to me and
okay.
I
Love
love
that.
the message.
Yes.
And I did do a gig with Lourdes last year, and that was really fun. And it made me realize that I like to talk when I'm on the stage and like,
Mm,
give the audience
mm,
that time to understand where I'm coming from with the
I
songs.
love that.
Um, and so
I
yeah,
love
I
that.
want to do more gigs once my new project is
I
released. So yeah.
mhm. That would be so cool. And even just, I'm over here, like, I'm over here daydreaming, I'm paying attention, but I'm saying, I'm like, oh my God, one day I have to be able to do like this event where everybody I've interviewed could just come and do like this little concert type of thing. How cool would
Oh
that
my God,
be?
yes,
Right?
yes, yes. I
I'm
love
gonna write
that.
it down. I'm gonna write it down on my on my bucket list, I guess you could say. But I think that's really cool. What you're doing. Again, your music is beautiful. Your voice, your energy. Like when you have all of it, like I think that's so beautiful. And I think everybody and their mama should know about you. You know. So I
Thank
applaud
you.
you for seriously. No, seriously, I love it. So what? I know you have that album that's coming up this year. Do you have any other things or projects or goals that you have for this year or the upcoming years when it comes to your music?
Right now, I'm super focused on this project,
Which
but
makes sense. Uh-huh.
I got a sync opportunity. It's my first time, so I'm learning how it all works.
Mhm.
But there's a show that's coming on Amazon Prime
Mm.
in a few weeks. I think it premieres February 11th, I think, and it's
Mhm.
called Cross. And the song that you played in the beginning, Under the Surface, it's supposed to be played in one of the episodes.
Oh,
With
how
Sync,
cool.
they'll pay you for the music, but it may or may
Wow.
not necessarily at the end cut, it may or
Yeah.
may not necessarily be in there in the final version.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I will be watching, and if my song is actually really on there, I am going to be so excited because that will be my first time hearing
That's
my music
amazing.
in film.
I
So
love,
that
so it's a movie. Like it's a
it's a
film.
series. It's a
A series.
series.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's a series on Amazon Prime, and
That is
yeah,
exciting.
I'm gonna go crazy if it's actually in there. So we will
Yeah,
see. I will be tuned in
I
to
love
that there.
that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Make sure you let me know. I'm sure you'll post something, but I
Oh, I
mean, that
will.
would
Yeah.
be, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine how exciting. Like, oh my God, like even I mean, that's a big deal. Like to be able to have your music. I mean, because you're amazing. And now speaking of that, well, it's a little different, but obviously I heard about you and I kind of met you, Lourdes, through in the crypto in the Web3 world, right?
Yeah.
What's going on with that? I mean, I have my opinions. I kind of remove myself completely from that. But like, are you still doing that? Like as far as like your music and NFTs in the Web3 world or no?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not, just because when you don't have like a I'm still an emerging artist,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to meet the people where they are.
True.
And
True.
a lot of everyday
Yeah.
people don't understand the Web3 world.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it made more sense to just, meet people,
To keep where they are.
yeah, where they
That makes
are.
sense.
And that's where you can reach more people, because when you're
I
emerging
agree.
artists, you just have to reach as many people as you can.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
maybe in the future, when Web3 is a lot more developed, then I'll, pop back in. But until
Yeah.
then, I've just been trying to meet people where they are. And also, I want to do direct to consumer. So,
Mm.
streaming also doesn't really pay artists
True.
very much. And so, when you are able to, sell the music direct to the consumer,
Yeah.
that is a better option for
Yeah.
artists. And so I am trying to explore that as
That
well.
makes sense. And I just asked just because, that's kind of where I found you guys, on Web3, which I myself I was really active in that time, but now I kind of also stepped all the way back from that, which I do feel like there's going to be something there in the future, but I think right
Yeah.
now, I don't think we're there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
not quite there yet. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it makes sense, especially in the music industry. I feel like, even for me, I'm just like, that's kind of, it was interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just a different like vibe kind of, And like you said,
Yeah.
it's more personal, more direct doing it this way. So I just had to ask you just out of curiosity, because that's kind of like, but yeah, well, that's exciting. I can see you. I love how you said that when you've done gigs, like you like to talk again, not comparing you, but like, to Janae Aiko, like where you speak, I feel like it's just that you're setting that vibe and that tone and,
Yeah.
and getting people to kind of like connect to what you're, I guess, giving or sharing, would you say that? Is that why you
Yeah.
think, and also because you say you write poetry. So does that, you think all of that kind of goes together is why you
Yeah.
like to do it?
Yeah, it really does. Like, one of my favorite and most vulnerable songs that I've done is called Venting.
Okay.
And that was one of that when I was performing at that gig with Lourdes, that was the first song that I did. And I really wanted to invite the audience to the mindset that I was in when I was writing that song. And so it's like a connection thing, being able to connect and bring the
I
audience
love
to
that.
my world. I think that's really important when it comes to, sharing your art with people.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful, and I'm like looking at you and listening to you, and I'm over here. If you know me, my brain is always all over the place. But I'm just like, one of my goals in life too is just to one day just host like this empowering woman type of event. And I'm like
Ooh,
looking
yeah.
at you, I'm like that would be so dope if like an artist like yourself would be like performing like your songs. Like how cool would that be? You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
literally just
that would be awesome for
yeah.
sure.
I'm over here daydreaming. See what you're inspiring.
That's what it's all about. Inspiration,
Yes.
giving it and receiving it from wherever in the universe it comes from,
Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing. And you know what? Like I said, there's so much going on in the world right now that I think when you tap or you connect with positive people, with people who are I use the word intention a lot this week because I think it's so important. When you look at life in that matter of intent behind whatever you're gonna do, whatever you're gonna speak, whatever you're gonna, I think it makes such a difference, you know. And then when you find somebody or people who are here trying to put out more positivity, trying to bring something just more positive, I guess that's the best word I could use in this world. I think is such a beautiful thing. And music obviously is extremely powerful
Yes.
vibration. And when you bring, you know, this type of music, I think we just need more of Asia's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And you know what's funny? I used to think that I was weird because my music doesn't really sound like other people's music, and
It's different.
it used to make me question, like,
Yourself.
yeah, because I used to be like, ooh, I don't know if this is like, it didn't feel like a good thing at the time because I was just like, it's not what's trending. It's not, it doesn't sound like what's popular. And eventually I just decided, again, as I've gotten more in tune with myself and like who I am, I'm just like, I'm going to embrace it because
Yes.
when you're really truly being yourself, that's when you attract the people that will really appreciate you. And so when you're pretending, those aren't really the people you want around you.
Wow.
The people, if you're pretending to be something that you're not,
Wow.
number one, you can't keep that up for long, and then you'll start to like feel some type of way because you know you're fighting against yourself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're also going to have people around you that really don't get you, and it's really important to understand yourself and to have people around you that also understand you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, girl, you are dropping gems tonight. I'm here, I'm over here like literally like I'm not gonna get emotional, but I'm just like, oh my god, it's because that is so powerful. You said something. Oh my gosh, guys, if you guys are watching the replay, you're not like pay attention and rewind because or rewind is that even a word? Oh my god, see how old I am. You know, go back a little. No, but you saying it's so true. Sometimes we want to pretend. I don't know if pretend or fit in and you are really not authentically who you are
Yeah.
because of either trying to fit in or trying to just like you said, oh man, you were doubting your music because you're like, well, it doesn't sound like everybody else. But it's like when people understand that we are all individuals for a reason, like that means every single person is unique and different. And when you embrace that, I love how you said when you embrace who you are, you will attract the right people in your life. And when you're pretending to be, oh my god, that's powerful. When you're pretending to be somebody you're not, that's the type of people you're gonna attract in your life.
Yeah, because I used to be that person. I didn't even know it. I just grew up wanting to fit in, wanting to belong, wanting to like people to like me so much that I ended up pretending to be like this person and pretending to be like that person, pretending to be like the people around me.
Yeah.
And eventually you lose yourself like that because then you don't really know who you are because you're pretending to be like all these different people because you think that that's what will make them like you more. But you know, in the end, you want people to like you for you. Honestly, it's
Exactly.
it's better that way. It really
is. And not just not just that. It's like you want people to like you, but you again, if we understand that we have to love ourselves for who we are, if you want to be a better person, do what you have to do. If you want to like, you know, get in shape, if you want to grow grow, which I always say this, you know, as human beings, we have to evolve, you know, have to continue evolving and growing and becoming the best version of ourselves. And that with years and time can change as well. Like,
it's a journey.
Right, exactly. There's an artist, is it her, who has a song that's called The Journey. It's really cool. But it's so true. And I've learned that too. I posted something on my Instagram notes the other day that says that like the destination is the journey. And sometimes people are so focused in that, oh, my life needs to look like this, or I need to look like this, or I should already be married at this age, or you know what I'm saying? Or even I'm guilty of it. Even myself, my God, at my age, 40 something, I'm restarting again. What, you know, and we're so hard on ourselves. But the crazy part is if you embrace the journey and you say, okay, what can I learn from this? Or what do I want from me? And stop people pleasing. Like you said, you were trying to, or you thought your music had to be what's trending. And it's like, is it worth like, oh, how many like, no, what if you tap into who you are and you're going to attract the right people that are supposed to be in your circle that are going to gravitate to your music and that you might touch on a deeper level. I feel like that we lose so much track of like we lose track of that on a regular, right?
Yeah, we really do. Just trying. And then also when as you get older, you're just like, I don't have the energy to it's a lot of energy exertion to pretend to be someone else and pretend to do. As you get older, you're just like, I am tired and I just want to be me, and whoever likes it, cool, we're good, and whoever doesn't, that's cool too. It's just like I don't have the energy to do that, to pretend anymore.
Yeah, when it's true, and like you said, it's sad that we have to get to a certain place where you finally realize that, you know. So if you can embrace it or show your kids or tell people, listen, be you, like, because it is exhausting when you live a life of trying to people please, trying to fit in or trying to be accepted, which is so wild. And I know we're talking about this for a good minute, but I think it's so important because it's a reality in this world where people literally, we live like that. And again, this is why so many times you're like, I'm just not happy, like something's missing. It's because we're living a life of what other people say it should be or what life says it should look like. And it's like, wait a minute, like you said, it's hold on, I'm the captain of this. Like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can craft and I can curate a life that resonates more with me than
I love that.
society. Yeah.
And going on that, going back to the music, how, speaking of like the internet and stuff like that, and because it's a thing, obviously, how do you feel like the internet has impacted like in the music industry, the music business? Because I know there's obviously artists, right, that are already the famous people, whatever. But now like with TikTok and all these, you know, apps, I feel like there's been a turnaround like with artists, which has, I think, pushed out a lot of like, you know, upcoming rising artists, you know. But how do you think the internet has impacted the music business in these days, or industry, I guess?
I feel like it's completely shifted the way we consume music, the way we value music. It's just so different. And every time I release music, even that is different. Even just years ago, you could release the music and post, you know, a picture of the album artwork, and that will be enough. But now you release the music and you have to do the content, you have to have the visuals, you have to have the marketing, you have to post like crazy because the algorithms are making it harder for people.
Oh my gosh,
to reach. And a lot of these platforms aren't designed for music artists. So a lot of those posts aren't even getting pushed out to people. And so it's forcing a lot of musicians to find wild and outlandish creative ways to get the music in front of more eyes.
No, it's true, because I mean, I was looking at some of your videos. I'm like, oh, I love how she did this, and she put, you know, and times do change. I guess certain things trend, especially if you're trying to, you know, have. I really don't understand the whole algorithm thing. I don't know how that works. Is it machines? Is it like certain?
No one.
I don't know. Honestly. Right?
Even the platforms that do it, they don't understand.
It's so true. But again, I think if you go back to like, I mean, obviously it's good to, you know, like even with my last guest, he was talking about, he's a content creator. He's like, really, you just have to be consistent, make sure you edit right. And then I'm just like, oh, like for me, I'm like,
that's a lot. That is a lot. And it is true. You do have to do that, but sometimes it gets to a point where it kind of makes a lot of artists become stagnant, because you have the art. There's a lot of great musicians with great music, but they don't have the capacity to like dive into this content creation world. And so I always think about this. There's a lot of music there's a lot of great music out there we probably will never hear because of the way that music is consumed and the way that we are sharing it on these platforms. And it's really sad, but that is just the reality of the social media world that we're living in. You kind of got to go hard with the content.
It's no way around it. It's true. But I was just thinking, like, Obviously it depends on like what your goal is, right? Like if you're in the music industry or content creator, because I know you hear other people like saying like, listen, just record and post. And sometimes that does work. Some people just are themselves and they just gravitate to people. Like, and I can see where you're saying for artists, because you're like, dude, I just want to focus on my craft, on what I love. Like I don't got time to, unless you have money to hire like an editor or whatever, and that's also a whole nother thing. So but I think, yeah. So I think, I mean, ultimately, I feel like if you have time and if not, like just post. Like I follow a lot of people that is just, they get their guitar and they sing and then they just post, So it's just kind of like, I think it just depends on people. But I think as we were saying this, it could be a good concept of like, listen, just stick to what you love, post it, and you know what I mean?
And that's the approach that because I was on TikTok in 2019 and I was following all the trends and doing all of the things, and I never went viral. But as I spent more time on the platform, I just got to a point where, because they'll push your video out when you first get on the platform, and that's how they like hook you in. So now you're trying to find ways to like keep up that momentum. But eventually, when it comes to posting your art, the algorithm just won't really push it. It depends on the type of music or the type of song. I guess if it's like a super song, then it'll do it. But if you're not, that doesn't apply to all music and every artist. So like when the algorithm caps you at like 200 views, then you're just like, you're frustrated because you're just like, I want more, but I don't know what to do with the algorithm. But eventually, after a while, because I was one of those people, it caps me at 200, 300 views. And you know what? I was like, I'm just going to embrace it. And I'm going to keep creating and posting the videos that make me happy, that I think is cool. And the people who find it will find it. And that's just how it's going to be, because maybe I'm not meant to go viral, and that's okay.
Or at this moment, maybe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's true, because even hearing you, it's kind of like, then you kind of, I feel like, even for myself, that I just put, I put whatever I want. I don't like specify just anything. But now you get to a point, but even, people say, oh, if you're stuck in the 200 view, and we're talking about this because obviously social media is a thing. But like when you think about it, I can't remember where I saw somebody post this. I think it was Gary Vee. He's like, people complain because they have 100, 200 views, but then you put 100 people in a room. Like that's still 100 people you're reaching out to, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you're reaching.
That's a lot.
And I think, again, because of social media, unless you're viral, unless you have this many followers, then you're important. It's like, no, says who? Like that, you know what I'm saying? So I think you need to keep, doing what you're doing, and you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna attract the right people to your music, the people who gravitate to you, and it's a beautiful thing. And always be authentically you. Like I love the conversation we had tonight, because I think this is why I named this Real Talk, right? Because I can interview artists, but I feel like it's important to give messages and to talk about things, and for people to see, like, listen, dang, these are talented people, but wow, they have a beautiful heart, or they have their intention behind the music. I feel like it shifts the way they can look at an artist. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because, you see the artist and you hear the music, but, it takes it a step deeper when you can hear from their own words and just break down the thoughts from your mind. It helps you connect with the artist on a deeper level. So I appreciate the spaces that you create for artists, because as social media gets so popular, it's hard to find spaces for smaller artists to share their art. So I really appreciate even you opening this space up to indie artists to share and giving them the space for it. It's really important.
Of course. Thank you. Yeah. And even for myself, it's just like, people ask me like, how do you get people on your show? I'm like, I just message them, and, if they don't respond, and sometimes I question myself, and on the topic that we were talking about, it's like I've messaged a few people, and I'm like, oh, what if, and sometimes I've actually messaged like people who are a little more like, or kind of, I guess, famous, and I'm like, I'm not this big podcaster, I'm just starting, like, I'm already downplaying me, but I'm just like, you know what, I've learned to like go for it. Like, even for me, for podcast, because the worst thing that people is just because they know, and you're like, okay, I tried.
Exactly. Yeah, I've done that too. I've reached out to
Yeah.
more well-known artists, and they've, not responded or left me on red, but it's not the end of the world. And the worst thing, that
Exactly.
is the worst thing. And guess what? Life goes on. And who knows,
Exactly.
maybe in the future it will work out, you never know.
Yeah, and not just that, even if they're famous people, that doesn't, I always tell people, it doesn't determine the quality of your craft. It doesn't determine the value of who you are or what you're doing. I think it's just once again going back to like self. Like, listen,
Yes.
I know who I am. I know my talent, and you embrace it and say, I'm my biggest fan. Shoot. You know what I mean? And I think when you do that, then people can be like, okay, like, and they're gonna gravitate. And again, you guys, any message you guys hear from today, like just love you and be your biggest cheerleader, because that's where it starts. And like you said, if you do that, you're going and be authentically you, you're going to attract authentic people, because we don't want no more fakery around here, guys. There's enough of that.
No,
Right?
truly, there is enough. Like, and it's exhausting.
Yeah, exactly. So we're already at the hour mark. Love, I don't want to take more time. I'm very mindful of people's time. I appreciate you so much. Before we wrap up today's podcast, and I'm gonna put that same song I put at the beginning, but tell us a little bit about that song when you wrote it, like, because I love the lyrics to that song, and I'm gonna put it to close off, but just tell us a little bit more about that, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up tonight's podcast.
Yeah. Under the Surface is one of my favorite songs, just because again, like, people pleasing and wanting to fit in and pretending to be someone that I'm not was the majority of my young life. And in my early 20s, I was still trying to do that. And then once I hit my late 20s, I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who am I? Like, why am I trying to pretend to be someone I'm not? Why am I doing this? Literally, why? And that question inspired me to write the song, because it's like, who are you under the surface? Like, looking past the titles at your job, looking past being a wife, looking past being a mother, at the root of who you are. What is that for you? And what is your purpose in this life? Just thinking really deep about what that is. And it can mean a lot for different people, but just questioning yourself with those types of things is really important. And it's something that I plan to do as I go through different phases of my life, because it's not a one and done thing. Like, I asked myself, now I know the answer. I know now. It's exactly. Like, it's going to change as you evolve through life, and just being able to keep that in the back of your mind is really important. That's why I wrote the song. It's just questioning who you are under the surface.
I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. And you guys, if you're watching the replay, or if you guys are still here, you guys make sure you follow Ashia on all platforms. I think I put it on here. Is that your same handle for TikTok?
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys are watching this or watching the replay, make sure you follow her on all platforms and show some love. Because I'm telling you, this is I love to talk to unique artists, and you're definitely one of them. And your energy, your aura, everything is beautiful. And I can see you, like, visualize you seeing, like, in this huge just venue. I don't know, like, artists, like, selling with that energy, like that, just beautiful, like, you speaking kind of poetry, music, and just I already have the chills. So I'm so excited for your future. I'm always gonna support you. Always. If you're like, Cinthia, listen, it's coming out this day. Let's set a date for you to come back and or with Florida, all of it. Sarah, shoot, you guys are always welcome back with me. I really love your guys' music. You're talented, and not just that, your talent, but your guys' personality. Again, the intention. This is why I love to do this, because like, I just love to have real conversations, because a lot of times people see people on social media and they're like, wait, they forget everybody's real. We all have a life. We all have gone through things, right? So I think that's beautiful. So again, I appreciate your time, love. Thank you so much. I am excited for your future, for your life, for your music, everything that you're going to do. And I'm excited to continue following you. Anything you want to say to the people, or any last words before we wrap up today's podcast?
Actually, I want to share a quote.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite quotes. And I'm looking for it. Here it is. I don't know how to pronounce the writer's name, but it says, Live your daily life in a way that you never lose yourself. When you are carried away with your worries, fears, cravings, anger, and desire, you run away from yourself and you lose yourself. The practice is always to go back to oneself.
Ooh, beautiful. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Aisha, I love you. I'm so glad I interviewed you. Like seriously, I'm like, you have no idea. Like you're just aura is beautiful. Like I don't know if you know that, but
Ooh, I
it
appreciate
really
that.
no, it really is. And that's a perfect way to end the podcast. So thank you again. We're gonna end it off again with your song. Is it Under the Surface is the name, right? That's the
Yep,
title. Beautiful message, you guys. Again, if you're watching, make sure you guys show some love, support, follow, and all that great stuff. And I am looking forward to seeing you again soon. And thank you again
for
for your
sure.
time, love. I appreciate you. And we will be seeing each other shortly. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. And we're going to end it off with this song again. Thank you, love. All
Bye.
right, guys.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night.
Happy they never deserve it, and you deserve better, cause you're just a person who's constantly yearning to feel something important. Come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? Under the surface, come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? You know you're the dopest. You've been running so fast, now finally stopped you. For a moment I forgot, I thought I lost you. You can roll with me, cause you know I got you. I got you.
Yeah, you been let down, ready to shut down. Close to the winter, no one can enter. Heart is frozen like a lake in late December. You got an icebox where your heart used to be, but life starts when your heart chooses to beat. Usually, it's never just you and me. Slow down, you can choose a new you to be. Come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? Under the surface, come back to yourself, come back to your purpose. Who are you now? You know you're the dopest.
For a moment I forgot, I thought I lost you. You can roll with me, cause you know I got you. I got you. You've been running so fast, now I finally stopped you. For a moment I forgot, I thought I lost you. You can roll